Hey guys, I'm Joe, and this is Twin Peaks Twin Perspective. My twin brother James and I are going to be talking Twin Peaks, and we figured since we talk about it and think about it all the time, we might as well record ourselves doing it and share it with you guys. So right now we are at the 2-week hiatus point of Twin Peaks: The Return. Part 8 has just dropped, and along with the other hours, it is amazing and has everyone talking about it. My brother and I, we watch a lot of the videos and we listen to some of the podcasts, and some of them are good and some of them are okay, and some of them we don't bother with anymore. But most of the time, because we love Twin Peaks so much and we love talking about it so much and we love hearing other people talk about it, we appreciate the different perspectives. It just gets frustrating sometimes when certain things aren't addressed for weeks at a time, and we thought we had a lot to offer to the conversation, and so that's why we're doing these videos. And this one is just to let you know who I am. I am Joe, and I love David Lynch. He's my favorite director. I'm a cigarette smoker, big coffee drinker. Lynch is my favorite director. He's probably my favorite screenplay writer too. And Twin Peaks is my favorite television show. Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me is my favorite film. How I fell in love with Twin Peaks: I saw the pilot in April of 1990 and proceeded to move to a place with no TV, and for the next 2 years I moved 8 times, so it was impractical to have television, and I was poor all that time anyway, so I didn't get to see any of it. By the time I got television, the episode that was on the air at the time was the Weasel Riot episode, and I realized watching it I didn't know if the murder of Laura had ever been solved. I didn't know where the show was going, and I didn't want to ruin anything. It wasn't the strongest episode by far, and decided that I would just rent everything when it came out on video. You know, I'd go to the local Blockbuster video rental place and get it. Sadly, only the pilot and the first season were available. It didn't, season 2 wasn't available as far as I knew until around 1996, and that's when I finally saw season 2. I actually saw the pilot in 1990 and then rented the first season somewhere at the end of 91. And then Fire Walk with Me came out in 92, and I wanted to see it. I wanted to see who killed Laura, so I watched the movie. And it was the best movie I ever saw. Anybody that you know that likes those kind of movies, a movie that makes you think, a movie that requires multiple viewings, or if they just like crazy movies like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or 2001: A Space Odyssey or something like that, Pink Floyd: The Wall. If you have a friend that likes those things, they can handle Fire Walk with Me before season 1 and season 2. But if you know someone who's never seen it and you want them to experience and enjoy it the way it was meant to be enjoyed, have them watch the pilot, have them watch season 1 and season 2, and then have them watch the film, and that'll be perfect. And they'll probably get frustrated like most people do during the second season after the murder solved. A lot of people that watched the show originally, when it originally aired, checked out after Laura's murder was solved. Those that kept tuning in may not have liked the directionlessness of it all until it really came together at the end, and those who hung out and stayed with it were privileged to see those last few episodes, and some of the best television ever. At the time, I thought the pilot was one of the best things I had ever seen, and I knew I was missing out in that 2-year period. everywhere I went, whether it was grocery shopping or doing laundry at the laundromat or whatever, wherever there were magazines, there were pictures of Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Onkeen and Cherry Pie and Coffee and Logs and a Deer Head, and I knew I was missing something wonderful. I've always loved David Lynch, so that was stressful for me. I purchased the soundtrack to Twin Peaks in that 2-year period, though. I was in love with the song Falling by Julie Cruz. Actually heard it on a radio station in 1990. And that was wild, especially in the small town where I lived. So I got that soundtrack, and I also bought Julie Cruz's Into the Night, Floating into the Night. And I listened to that quite a bit in that 2-year period. Fell in love with Badalamenti and appreciated Lynch as an artist, the fact that he wrote all those lyrics, and it's a wonderful thing, and I love talking about Twin Peaks. The return is something that I had hoped for years and years and years. Always thought it could happen, and everyone around me always told me it was never going to happen. Get over it. Forget about it, Joe. Show's over. They're not going to bring it back, and all the beloved actors in it couldn't possibly return, and then some of them began to pass away, and then there were reports that Lynch would never do it again, and I just held out hope. As a matter of fact, I created my own ending. It took hundreds of hours to complete, but I finished it. It was simple movie maker, using pictures and music and typing in the dialogue, and I finished it. It's a total of 14 hours, and I finished it myself because I wanted to go back into that world of Twin Peaks. I wanted to live there again. And so now we have it brought to us by Mark Frost and David Lynch the way it's supposed to be, and it's brought to us in a story that none of us really predicted, and the only reason it's happening is because of this story. This is the story Lynch and Frost fell in love with. This is the story they wanted to tell. This is the reason why we're getting Twin Peaks. And so I'm all on board and extremely excited, and I can't wait to do videos talking about every part as they're released. That's what I'm going to be doing, and that's what my brother James is going to be doing. This is Twin Peaks, Twin Perspective. I'm Joe, and we'll be doing another video soon. Bye.